Alright, we live. We live. Uh, Game chops. Game chop action. I'm working on a mini comic. It's called A Bird's Last Book. I'll explain it in a bit. I'll explain it to whoever is kind of curious why it's called A Bird's Last Book. But let me check out my string. Hello, hello, hello. Seems good. We're in the clear. Twice. I drew this one out by hand, but then I scanned it to get it on screen. I don't know if I want to give the bird like Wing Chun style from Tekken 8, Leroy, or give him a Street Fighter fit. Make him do a Shoryuken. I think I'll make him do a Shoryuken because that's the original story. Up there, real quick. What was my thought? So daisy. I drew this one in my sketchbook. I did a page before this too that I just went over to digital with. Now I'm just making them digital now. That's my, and then I'm going to continue making them digital. But at least I have a little bit more space. Let me see if I have my little glove. Can't get anything done without the glove. Come with that JoJo pose. Alright, let's do these. I want to give him a little whatchamacallit there. Let's make that connect. I wanted to give him a little, little shits, you know? Like, no, we don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean, little shits? Little, like that right there. I want his Bat's entire aura to seem mysterious up until this last panel right here, where he's just chill there. Okay. Look at this, where's this guide? Canvas? Okay. Make some straight lines. My lines in my sketchbook are pretty straight, actually. I should have done another layer, but it's alright. Something laying in bed. I think the one I saw up there was the best one. The person was laying there on one. But this is most similar to the one that I've already done. Funky art. Alpha pastel. I like this color. Okay. Let's see. I think the look too bad already, but stuff I might change. The board right here probably needs to. It's too off. It looks crooked. In my opinion, it's looking like these legs look a little bit crooked. This needs to be. Little cylinder in there. Cool. I'll give it a little something. And then I'll look right. That's a decent looking bed. That's a decent looking bed. I gotta draw like some boulders behind them. And the monster. Ruins, drawing. Oh, yeah, that's a nice little digital. That one? Texture. 3 scales, first draw a line. Use. For a rough stone. For a rough stone texture. First draw the stone, then shade each one with lines. That's not too bad. Pinterest is like a gold mine. Like, I don't really need any of the art books that I've ever bought. I spent a decent amount of money on art books too. Maybe I should sell them. Cross hatching made simple. Dumb. Doesn't say anything. Like, here, draw a block, reduce. Alright, add some texture. Now you have some brick. Let me go back to where I was. I don't know if I want to do straight brick or if I want to do like a cave type of. This texture looks weird too. Like, this looks pretty cool. Here's some stalagmites hanging from the ceiling. Ice cave. It's not an ice cave though. I forgot which one I was looking. Why does this bat have a bed in his cave? Maybe you'll find out. Who knows? How do I want this bed position? Should I have the wall behind them? Or should I have... let me stop overthinking it and just let me complete this. Here's the I need a. I gotta keep drawing with this pen. I've been drawing with this pen for such a long time now. It's got a decent texture. It's just it can be pretty fat sometimes. It's a fat pen. Can't do that. Hey, don't try and. I need to call my brother. Alright, I'll just put it right here. Up here? Then why doesn't his bed have his bed up against the wall the right way? I would be drawing it crooked. Oh well. was like, where's my phone? I have it right here. Yeah, I forgot I need to change the title. Boom, 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 boom. Bop, bop. I look how that looks stupid. It's like a fire. I don't know how to. Maybe when I add some color to this. You'll be able to tell. Like, why does a bat have light set up in his cave? Now, don't ask questions why a bat has light set up in his cave. The bat needs to be able to not strain out its ears. And it's just an aesthetic thing, so. It's like, it came with the cave. I didn't install the light, but, you know, it's there. Okay. Last scene on this page is the bat chilling by himself. He's like, yeah, I'm chilling. But he's taking care of his friend. Taking care of him. He's making sure he's not too banged up. After you get hit by a car, it can be a pretty scary thing. Bro, how's this bat watching TV? I do like this one. Like this. I really dislike this right here. It's cold in here. At least in this room. looks weird. How do I draw a couch? Oh, okay. That looks still decent. If I don't say so myself, I do say so much. No, you should. I'm pretty tired. I gotta go home now. I don't know why Forrest Gump just came to my head, like he did. You must learn to walk. And before you fly, you will train. Train to become the strongest bird there is. Bird? How do you to become the strongest bird? What the fuck is this bird? I think the Shoryuken is universally recognized. But here's the overall idea. He gets better. He trains. He fights a big ass bird. Hits him with that. Sure, you can. He becomes a bird fighting champion. KO. Let me look up a table. Whole table. Oh. Circular. Gotta be a small circular table. Take it more. I was kind of like already drawn it like that. I can put its legs a little. And it's fairly uniform. Like it's a little bit bigger up top, but not too much. And yeah, it has a little bit of. That's the front side of it, you know? It has a little bit of that. I see the back of this. Someone show me the back of the TV, please. I'd love to see it. Or for something. Thank you. Oh, look, this one looks crazy. I used to have a TV like this. It was in my mom's room. It fell down one day. Broke. need a cape back. This damn brush is way too fucking big. It's pissing me off too. Habook. Here's this. what that is, just a heap of trash. Could be a heap of trash. Should I get this bad a pink nose? Or should I make him a brown bad? Make him a brown bad. I can. He's like, why would a bat watch TV? Bats watch TV. That's all I'm gonna say. Bats, they need to be entertained. And they watch the local news, what goes on in the caves. I imagine there's some sort of cave station. Game Chop's still playing over. I just gotta make sure Game Chops plays. If Game Chops isn't playing, then I'm in for a big problem, I'll tell you that. What's that guy's name in Final Fantasy IX? FF9 Clyde? Play. No, not Clay. Look up Final Fantasy IX characters FF. Who's the one who got frozen in time? What's his name? This guy. He's around. I don't remember Kuja. This character's Blank. There we go. That's his name. He's one of the members of Tantalus, and thus a thief. He is Mark's best friend. What? Why does he have that on? What's the pants on that guy? What the hell? Ambient art. Let's look up. A poet's last look. Take some of these. They must learn to walk. And he should say, you need to recover. See what she's saying. Because all I got was training montage. So, what should go on in my training montage? Before he can leap out the window again. Before he can leap out the window again, he must fall.
From Upperly, okay? And again, at this point in his history, the war is over. You don't have to do anything. But again, Xerxes says, I want a...
I sometimes watch Professor Jiang, is that his name? On YouTube. He talks about religion and history. I really enjoy it.
Monument, okay? I want to witness a great climatic battle between my navy and the Greek navy, okay? So he sends his navy into battle, and of course they get destroyed because, again, it's really important, you don't fight the Greeks face on, okay? You don't do that because the Greeks are heavily armored and you're not. Okay, so this is a Greek trireme. Okay, so Greek trireme, the thing to recognize about is it's mainly soldiers, so they're really fast. They have some soldiers on top, marines on top. Okay, so they're really good at ramming you and destroying your ship. The leader of the Athenian navy, his name is Themistocles, and Themistocles is one of the greatest generals in Athenian history. He's actually the guy who proposed that Athens build a navy. Athens discovered a silver mine, and they used all the silver to build their navy to prepare for the Persian invasion, okay? And it was Themistocles who led the Athenians against the Persians. Okay, and this is what the battle looks like, okay? So you still have this massive Persian army converging against the Athenians. But again, guys, don't fight the Greeks head on, okay? So they're like, we're gonna fight them head on. So you see this massive army converging against the Athenians. And now they're converging against each other, okay? And the Athenians destroy them, okay? Yeah, don't fight the Greeks head on. All right, and now the entire Persian navy is scattered. The war is over now because now the Persians have lost their navy, which means that they cannot resupply. They have no more mobility. And so what will happen next is that the Athenians destroy the Persian navy. What happened next is the Spartans want to destroy the remaining Persian forces in Greece. Okay, this is why you don't do. I'm sorry, it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Okay, they won the war and they screwed it up. Okay, once you lose a navy, you can't resupply. Once you can't resupply, you've lost the war. All right. So this is from Herodotus. All right. So what's going to happen is the Battle of Salamis is lost, but the Persians still have this huge army in Greece, and so the Persian king Xerxes, he's like, I'm out of here, man. I came here to burn down Athens. I've done that. I'm gonna go home now, and I'm gonna let my general Mardonius take care of the Greeks. Okay? So Mardonius is like, I don't really want to fight these guys anymore. So Mardonius sends an envoy to the Athenians and said, you know what? The king of kings Xerxes says this. We're really sorry we burned down your city. Really sorry we burned down your temple, but we'll give you a lot of money. So please stop fighting us, okay? And this is what the envoy says to the Athenians. Okay, can you read, please?
Why are you so mad as to levy war against the king? For neither can you get the better of him, nor can you resist him forever. You are acquainted with the multitude of Xerxes' army and their achievements. You have heard of the force that is even now with me, so that even if you should get the better of us and conquer, of which, however, you can have no hope if you think soberly, another much more numerous will come against you.
Okay, so this is the idea of empire, right? Just mass organization and death. We are infinite in our resources. We are infinite in our wealth. We can just throw army after army after army against you. Athenians, you're like this small little city, okay? Give up already. And the Athenians respond with this, okay?
We ourselves are aware of this, that the power of the
Medes is Persian, okay?
Oh, Medes is far greater than ours, so that there was no need to insult us with that. But nevertheless, being armed for liberty, we will defend ourselves.
I see how I want to think. I need some time to think. Why? I'm just kind of self-reflecting a little bit on my 8 years at my can't help but think, why certain choices. I guess I can. I want to go fucking at myself. maybe I didn't do a good job building relationships with people that make decisions about my future. I guess I never really wanted to be friends with them. Like, what's the point, right? What's the point in befriending your boss? The person who's just going to undermine you, really not listen to what you say. I didn't really befriend Hop until I was friends with Hop while I was on his team. I was pretty open with him, but you know, we weren't like friends after I was off. Same thing with I would go out with my last boss on Robert, and I learned a lot from all of them. The only person was a boss, or it's a do as I say because I said so type of person. In my opinion. So, and just the way he would, his views, people, I couldn't get behind it. And how he values another human. His value of a human almost seems like that of cattle. You know, pull the sleigh, do the work. I'm gonna keep my weight on the boat and on the ride, and I have the whip. I'm the one who gets to do. I don't know where it comes from. Maybe he felt as if that was what happened to him, so he had to do that to others. Or maybe this is his weird way of making things right of what happened to him in the world. Some people might be like, well, I have to get back on the world because of what it did to me. Some people probably think that way. But my entire goal, especially with while I'm leading a current job, has only been to help them grow professionally. And also, look great because I'm in the role. So, we have fun while we do it too. I need to talk about it because it's all I've been thinking of. Tomorrow I have to walk into work and just act like everything's okay when it's not. But that's the thing with work, especially in a corporate environment. It's an act. So I guess now that I know that the act is almost over, maybe there's a little bit more pressure for this to be my final hurrah. Don't let them see what's underneath. Don't break character. You break character, it's over. I can't break character now. I can't break the fourth wall. There's such a big fourth wall at work that I don't think ever gets talked about. Don't break the fourth wall, and I think the fourth wall is similar to drinking the company's Kool-Aid. If you drink the Kool-Aid, you're in. Drink the Kool-Aid, and you should have an opinion that matches the small group of people. If your opinion doesn't match them, then you're breaking the fourth wall. And we don't like people who break walls around here. You're like, well, I was just talking to them because, that's the audience. Those are the people who, give me the feedback on the work that I do. Yo, shut up! Shut up, Bill, don't listen to that! That's how they are. We make the decisions in here. See this table? This table right here? See the seats around this table? Not everybody gets a seat around this table. So, start looking at the table. Like, I walked in the wrong fucking room. But I think it's important to know when you walked in the wrong room. And decided to get up and say, hey, yeah, this is the wrong room. I shouldn't have been sitting here. I'm gonna go find the right room. But I didn't do that. I didn't find the right room. What I did was I sat down there and I'm like, how much y'all paying? I think I can get comfortable in this room. What do you guys say? I can say that. What do you guys do? Ooh, that's weird. I don't want to do that though. But then, before you know it, you've been sitting in that room for going on 3 years now. More people join the room. Some people exit the room. And you sit there and you grow more and more resentment towards the people that sit around your room. Not resentment as in like dislike them or you don't appreciate them as people, but resentment in the sense that you try to talk to them about it. It's the fourth wall breaking in the room and they don't want to talk about it. That type of resentment where the words that come out of your mouth and thoughts that you think start to seem a little crazy. You're like, why am I the one who's not really thinking right in this room? Because they all think a certain way, and sometimes the opinion or like with your thought process, maybe you're not able to vocalize it the way you want to. But they have to have a pretty similar shared experience with the other people in the room. Why do they deny it? Why do you deny having a similar experience as me? They are some really good actors. Really good actors. They don't break the fourth wall. And I think they realize that you associate yourself with someone who breaks the wall too often, then you might be forming a different group inside your little group. And some people might look at that the wrong way, and we don't like this. They have some outside influence. Those outside influences don't come from within. You gotta get out. So sometimes they force you out the room. And that's okay. Because the more you think about it, the more you remember not wanting to be there from the get-go. The more you think about it, the more you remember how this situation came up in your head, and you've been prepared for it, I guess. Alright, I'm done. I'm gonna get back to my comic. I'm comic making, listening to the professor. It's a little hot in here too. I'm not gonna break the fourth. Me talking to this camera right now has been fourth wall. He's been breaking the fourth wall a lot. I get back to learning about the Hellenistic.
In such manner as we are able. But do not you attempt to persuade us to come to terms with the barbarian, for we will not be persuaded. While Mardonius, the Athenians say, so long as the sun shall continue in the same course as now, we will never make terms with Xerxes. But we will go out to oppose him, trusting in the gods who fight for us, and in the heroes whose temples and images he, holding them in no reverence, has burned.
Okay, so these two passages show you the difference between empire and the borderlands, right? The empire is about mass organization, death. The borderlands, the Greeks, are about openness, energy, and cohesion, okay? The Athenians say to the Persians, we know you're bigger than us, we know you're stronger than us, but we believe in liberty. We believe in each other. We believe in our gods, and therefore we will fight you to the end, okay? All right. So what will happen is that now that Xerxes is gone, now that the navy is scattered, Mardonius is kind of screwed, okay? And so what happened is the Spartans face off against Mardonius in the battle of Plataea, and they will destroy Mardonius. Mardonius is killed. And so one of the soldiers says to the king of the Spartans, Pausanias, your uncle Leonidas was killed by the Persians, and they put his head on a spike. Why don't you return the favor and put the head of Mardonius on a pike and show it to the world and show how great the Greeks are? And this is Pausanias' response to this, okay? Can you read?
Pausanias answered, I admire your good intentions and your foresight, but you have failed to form a right judgment, for having highly extolled me, my country, and my achievement, you have thrown all down against to nothing by advising me to insult my body, and saying that if I do so I shall increase my fame, which is more fit for barbarians to do than Greeks, and which we abhor even in them. I cannot, therefore, in this matter please the
Aeginetae.
nor those to whom such things should be pleasing. It is sufficient for me to please the Spartans by doing and speaking what is right. As for
Leonidas,
whose death you exhort me to avenge, I affirm that he has been amply avenged. Both he and all the others who fell at Thermopylae have been avenged.
Hey, shout out Paul. Thanks for joining. Happy New Year. Stopping by. You actually rant. I was on a little rant. A little rampage. My guy. How you doing, man? I can't wait to see all of you guys on Super Bowl Sunday. It'll be a nice time. It'll be a nice time. Yeah. Hopefully it's the Bears in the Super Bowl. Am I right? Am I right? What are you talking about? I think I heard Rafa say something about us getting together before the Bears, or when the Bears play whoever they're playing in the playoffs. You listening to the Bears currently on the radio? Huh. Let's see. Bears game. Oh shit, we're losing 13-0. Fuck. This ain't a playoff game though, right? Are you driving home? This is just a regular game, I think. 11 and 16 games. There's 16 games, right? There's 16 or 8 or 17 games. How many NFL games are there? How many regular games in NFL? There's 17. I thought there was 15. Over 18-week schedule. They added 2 more games. We need to win this game to at least be a number 2 seed. Let me look at a highlight real quick.
Third and 4. Goff stands in on a rope. St. Brown had a beauty on an in cut. Gets a block. Amon-Ra St. Brown is down to the 15.
Like about this, St. Brown running a deep in cut.
Terrible defense.
In their perfect timing.
Terrible defense.
Pressure.
Okay, we would go against the Packers in the playoffs if we get the number 2 seed. Do we want to go against the Packers in the playoffs? We won 1 game, but the Packers have they got the cheat codes on the Bears. I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs, I'll tell you that. Personally,
Goff zips it underneath. It is caught. It's
that
down.
terrible defense.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Terrible defense.
However, do not you hereafter come to me with
However, don't you come to me. Let me look up the NFL standings. The Patriots are 13-3. I had no idea the Patriots were good still. The Bills are 11-5. Buffalo Bills. You got the Buffalo Bills. The Ravens are 8-8. The Browns are back to sucking. The Jaguars are 13-4. The Texans are 12-5. Okay, that's the American Football Conference. The National. What's the difference? American and then there's National. The AFC, the NFC. So stupid. The Eagles are 11-5. Bears are 11-5. Top of the NFC North. Okay. The Panthers suck. 8-9. The Buccaneers won't be anything without Tom Brady. And the Seahawks are 14-3. Wow. Good record. Whoever wins between the Ravens and the Steelers goes to the playoffs. Let's see. The Ravens are 8-8 and the Steelers are 9-7. But let's see. Oh, I guess whoever are they playing each other? Because if they're playing each other and the Ravens win, they're going to be 9-8, and the Steelers are going to be 9-8. Why would the Ravens go to the playoffs? It's a tiebreaker. But I guess we're like, yeah, it's close enough. You guys won? Okay, cool. You get to go to the playoffs. Playoffs! Okay, here's the games going on right now. Okay, live reporting for the games. You got Cardinals and the Rams. They're in quarter 3. The Rams are up 16-13. You got the Chiefs versus the Raiders. It's all tied up in quarter 3. 4 minutes, 11 seconds left. The Eagles versus the Commanders. The Eagles are up 14-10. 6 minutes left in quarter 3. Are all these games, do they just play at the same time? They're all roughly around the same. They're the same time of the game right now. Same amount of time has passed. The Dolphins versus the Patriots. The Patriots are up 24-10. 5 minutes left. The Bears versus the Lions. Lions are up 13-0. 16-0 now. That's some fucking bullshit. Not looking good for us. Broncos versus the Chargers. The Broncos are up 13-3. And the Jets versus the Bills. The Bills are up 29-0. The Jets suck. The Jets really, really suck. And then at 7:20, Raiders versus Steelers. Okay, enough football coverage. I'm gonna get back to listening to my professor, Professor Jiang, on Predictive History, YouTube. Let me see what I'm gonna do with this comic strip though. So I'm gonna do one panel of him. He's gonna be standing up. He's gonna say, "I can't see." And then the bat's gonna say, "Tell him what happened." Or maybe I'll keep it as like the audience needs to infer what happened. Or whoever the reader of this comic is needs to make a guess of what happened to this bird. I can't see! I mean, I draw on the layer with the outline actually. I might mess around and fudge it up. Let me see. Can I freeform? That's good enough. This size looks better than all of the other ones I've been using. I think I might just use. Let me have them copy that real quick. Get that. Did it duplicate? It doesn't look like it duplicated. Did it duplicate right there? And where it's going? Yeah, it's just duplicating outside of the thingamajig. Lock that layer so I don't accidentally draw on it. Oh, who'd you get for Secret Santa? Tell me, one of them. Tell me who you got for Secret Santa. Just kidding. You get me? If you got me, let me tell you what I want. Okay, I want a new iPad. Just kidding. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and tell me who you got there, bud. I still need to get my present though. I haven't gone shopping. Well, I know exactly what I want. I just haven't really ordered it yet. 'Cause, we have time, so I was like, oh, I'll wait. You know, so I was like, ah. I ain't telling you shit, boy. Think I'm telling you who I got? You didn't tell me who you got. If I tell you, will you tell me yours? You're on the same page? Yeah, there's no reason to get it yet. We got time. Once it gets closer to the day, maybe I'll. Well, I'm not gonna tell you regardless. Give this bird some bed hair. He's like, oh fuck. Talking about who the fuck is who the fuck is Isabella? Who said that? Nah, I was confused about Lily. Who said that? Who said? Oh no, Mikhail said who the fuck is Isabella? I was like, bro, Mikhail's too out of touch. But I saw Lily on there. Lily is Juan's girlfriend. And I was talking to Chris. I was like, I was like, I was like, who's Lily? Because Chris brought up Lily to me. And I felt a little bad. Mikhail was a little drunk though. So I can give him benefit of the doubt. That's the cool thing about digital is I can resize right there. I'm glad I didn't get Lily out to be. Well, let me not be mean. But I would be a little bit confused on what to get her. I'm like, fuck. Touchdown. Let's go Bears. Let's see. Nah, it doesn't say there's a touchdown. I don't see anything. Still says 16-0. Lion snag Caleb's pass for that's what it says. Lion snag Caleb's pass for a touchdown. That was 13 minutes ago.
They've got guys open downfield.
On the fake. Looking downfield. Letting it rip. DJ Moore's down there. And it's Devontae Maddox in the end zone. Maddox played it better, and he's got the pick for Detroit.
Come on, Caleb. Okay, yeah, it says +6 now. Hey, 18. 8 to 16. Oh, we got 2-point conversion. This is taking forever to update. There's still 2-point conversion yet. Fuck. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, injured bird right here. Injured bird action. Here, let me show you what I'm making. I'll rewind it back to the beginning. So I'm making the mini comic. I listened to this song called "A Bird's Last Look" by who is it? Who is this by? Let me see. It's by Macabre Plaza. Not sure who they are. They came up randomly on my Spotify, and I was walking to work, or I was walking back from work, and I was like, what would a bird's last look actually be? And I, for some reason, thought of a bird getting hit by a car, and then not being able to see anymore. And then if he couldn't see, that's his last look. His last look was at a car, like and like deer in headlights type moment. That was the last thing he's ever seen. Then a bat. Let me just show you the comic strip actually. So this is a bird's last look. I'm gonna play the song when I post this, but here's the initial outline. Bird sees a little worm. It's like, oh, I'm about to eat that, buddy. He goes down to go eat it, and he's like, uh-oh. There's a car heading for him. Bam. Lights out. In the next scene, you see a bat rise up, and you see the bird. He's laying in the bed now. He's got an eye mask on or eye cover on. And you see that the bat is the one who took the bird. He's like, well, why'd the bat take the bird? Because bats are very familiar with not being able to see. So the bat took the bird in. He's gonna let him rest and recover. Now the bird has to recover. He's going to go through a little bit of a training montage. He's gonna have to learn to use his senses outside of his eyes. And for some reason, I'm gonna make him battle a bigger bird. So this is the initial like sketch of everything I was doing. Here's the bird that I'm currently drawing. He turns into a fighting warrior. I'm gonna give him a little bit of a Street Fighter fit. And then you got the big bird right here. Where is it? The big bird's right here. He wants to tussle with him. And then boom, he hits him with a Shoryuken. That's one of the techniques he learned from the bat. And then the bird ends up becoming a fighting champion for some reason. It doesn't make much sense. It came into my head. I was like, I guess I'll draw it. And it's been in my head for a really long time, actually. So, really, you should be saying, Eric, it's about time you've drawn this comic. It's silly and weird. Yes, all of that came from the song. Here's the thing. Go listen to the song, and there's no lyrics to it. Like, it's just instrumental. But the song's titled "A Bird's Last Look," and then that's what got me thinking. I was like, bird's last look. That's kind of how it goes. Okay. What should he say? I'm alive, but I've gotten hit by a car. I think he needs to keep his eyebrows.
And be thankful that you don't end up punished.
Okay, so what he's saying is that
I'm gonna let him keep his eyebrows.
Why do the gods favor us? Because we are virtuous. Because we are loyal to the gods. We're loyal to ourselves. We are not the barbarians. We are not the Persians. We are the Spartans. Okay? So you can see at this time in history how for the Greeks what matters is their virtue, their faith, and their loyalty. Okay?
That's kind of weird with eyebrows, isn't it?
This all changes when they become an empire, okay? So I want you guys to remember this. And what we're going to do now is we're going to compare and contrast this what happens when they become an empire, okay? Okay. All right. So the Persians are scattered.
If you're asking me why a bird has eyebrows, don't ask me.
And so what the Athenians propose is, you know what? It's always possible that the Persians will want to return. So we need to set up an alliance to defend ourselves against the Persians. Okay, and they call it the Delian League. Why? Because they agree that they will pool the resources together as a defense fund against the Persians. So think of like NATO, okay? The North Atlantic Treaty Organization. And they agreed that they would put all their gold in a place called Delos, okay, an island in Delos, somewhere. Yeah, it's somewhere. Yeah, it's right here. It's a small island in Delos, right here, okay? You guys see it? And so no one's allowed to touch this. So what happens is that the Athenians are like, you know what? It's probably safer with us. So the Athenians basically steal all this gold. And now the Delian League is no longer a alliance, but a empire, the Athenian Empire, where everyone now has to pay tribute to Athens. Okay? So all that's happened is before these Greek city-states had to pay tribute to the Persians, and now they have to pay tribute to the Athenians. Okay? It's probably a worse deal for everyone. And what do the Athenians do with all this gold? They spend it on this, okay? It's called the Parthenon. It's still there in Athens if you want to go visit it. It's lost its former glory, okay? But this is what the Parthenon looked like during the age of Pericles.
Montage, training montage aesthetic.
Empire, okay? This is a statue of Athena. It's pure gold. They didn't have to do this, but they were like, you know what? We're going to enjoy our empire. They built the Athenian statue, okay? And so at this time in history, Athens is beautiful. It's wealthy. And what that does is it makes you lazy, arrogant, and stupid, okay? All right, so this is Thucydides, and he wrote...
These are all pretty cool.
War. And he discusses why Athens went to war with Sparta. Okay, and what he says is, well, it's because Sparta is the hegemon and Athens is the rising power, and therefore they were bound to clash. Okay, that's not what happened. Athens was the hegemon, Athens was the empire, and its allies were rebelling against it, and it dragged Sparta into the war. Okay, that's what really happened. All right, so this is what the war looks like. The Athenians have their empire, the Spartans have their alliances.
I'm not listening to this. Let me. A little bit of music. I can't see. Your training to regain your senses starts now. That's what he's gonna say. That's what the bat's gonna say, actually. I'll keep it on this layer. This is kind of like a not Splitter. What's that guy's name from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Master Splitter? Master Splinter? It's kind of like one of those situations. Oh, it's hot in here. I need to open up the door. I don't want to open up the door and let all the heat out. What should the bat say? Your training starts now. Or there's only one way to gain senses. Not really a fan of this music that I'm playing currently. For that album. The Zelda and Chill album is my favorite. You'll never be able to see again. Yeah, all I know is I want this last panel for him to be in his Street Fighter getup. He's kind of like he's a little buffer. Yeah, I'm gonna make it that one right there. You saw. Get the fuck out of here! It's a tied game? 16-16? What the fuck? That's insane. What just happened? What just had? That's insane. It was just. They're really a fourth quarter team, aren't they? Let's see.
It's coming. It's blocked. Williams going end zone. It's caught. Janae Walker. Touchdown Bears.
Fancy. Here's Walker just running a post. It's cover 4. The near safety bites down on the underneath play.
The future of Street Fighter 6. Give me a sec. Gotta. A little curious about what the future of Street Fighter 6 holds.
This is cool. Dang. This picture of Alex is mad cool. Holy crap. Good lord. He's like a Sonic the Hedgehog character now. He's got attitude. That's very neat. I'm looking forward to that. Alex never had the luxury of being good except for maybe TVC? Maybe at one point in Street Fighter 6's history? He turned heel. Oh, good point. He actually turns heel because he's a wrestling character. That's a good point. I like it. Yeah, by the end of SF5, he had gone through so much crazy BS. He had to be good. After so much buffs, the character had to be good, you know? Yeah, I guess we'll just get right into it. I think we're at a point where we can actually start discussing what the hell is going down for the future, which is the present, which is the future of fighting games. We had our big prediction of like, where the hell does Capcom go with their fighting game series now, whether or not it's Darkstalkers, CVS, you know, MVC, whatnot. We have something that's a lot more tangible. Street Fighter's in an interesting spot right now, especially with the community, especially as a game. The last time we talked about it, I don't feel like my thoughts have necessarily changed, even though I haven't put any time into the game since then. But I could start understanding where people are coming from, because even I wanted this quote-unquote, we talked about it before summer of last year, I wanted this shake-up in the beginning of Season 3. I thought the game was going to be shaken up in some way. So everybody knows it didn't. We are largely playing like 95% the same game we have been playing since 2022. And for anybody that doesn't understand what the hell that means, dude, that was the beta. Like, even the game in the beta didn't change that much from core mechanics and the way the game's overall game plan operates. That didn't change that much from the beta to the actual launch of the game. And from the launch of the game through several balance patches and several minor mechanical adjustments all the way until 2026. Dude, that's crazy that this game has been played for 4 years now. What's happened? Pretty much the community is kind of done with the way the game operates on like a mechanical level. I think most people will agree that
I'm not done with it.
are fun in Street Fighter 6, but even the people that kind of like this game and are relegated to playing mostly this, they're like Street Fighter streamers, Street Fighter players, a lot of them are now like at a point where dealing with this rock, paper, scissors situation, because it is, most situations in the game on Oki and Knockdown are going to boil down to an RPS decision or like a checkmate moment, which has just been the case that we have evaluated from the game since 2022. But having to deal with those situations over and over again, regardless of characters being geared up, characters have more tools and things that they ever have, but the core systems are so powerful that you always have to deal with it. Tekken's going through somewhat of a similar situation. So it was my presumption that because we have played such a similar game for such a long period of time that, hey, I think Season 3 is going to be the shakeup. It's going to be the Super Street Fighter 6, Super Street Fighter, like whatever. Something will add a layer of depth to those rock, paper, scissors kind of interactions. Maybe there's some of those checkmate situations. I don't know, something. Other than what is arguably the biggest change the game has gone through, which is the adjustment to perfect parry. Did that change the game that much? Not really. I mean, from a viewing perspective and from watching a lot of the people that have to play this game every single day, day in, day out, it was a small change, but did it really like, oh man, the game is just drastically different? It doesn't look that way. That being said, I think the community is kind of ready for a shakeup. I think the way people play this game and the operation of the game is spiced up a little bit. And that's not going to happen by adding more special moves or adding more supers. It's going to actually be a mechanical difference or a big mechanical adjustment from previous versions of the game that won't change the identity of the game. That will never happen, chat. You're not getting a different game. All your tools and skills that you learned from the first 3 years of Street Fighter 6 being a thing is going to apply, and you're going to be great at it. But you're going to have to think of some new things. That's how this has just operated on the Capcom front since the Street Fighter 4, where we actually got big updates to games, you know, in the same version. So, it's been talking, and they've been discussing a lot of the stuff that we're talking about right now, about the future of the game, where it's going, and sort of giving some, I don't know if it's hope, but it seems like they are slightly aware of the way the audience is interacting with the game. Its sales are good, the numbers are good. So what happens? And I'll give my predictions based on what they say. So Happy New Year. We broke 6 million units worldwide in cumulative sales. This year, in addition to Alex and Ingrid joining the fight, we will be delivering a packed lineup of hot events like Capcom Cup 12 and more, which is still pay-per-view. We look forward to your continued support. Yes, and yeah, I will say personally, of all the characters that were in Season 3, I like Sagat the most. He was definitely really fun to play. I'm looking forward to Alex. I want to see what the heck they do with this guy, if he's going to work with the systems of this game. But outside of that, the director and the producer, so shout-outs to Dakota on Event Hubs for putting this article up and the translations. Matsumoto and Nakayama-san, who are the lead Capcom guys, have been discussing the game quite a bit, especially with Famitsu. So we should start dissecting what the hell they are talking about. They mentioned that Alex and Ingrid are on the way, as well as more collaborations for SF6, while the series as a whole is approaching its 40th anniversary, which is kind of a big deal. I think it's going to be 40 years old in 2027. I think Street Fighter, hold on a second, 1987. Yeah, that game is old AF, dude, and it plays like an old, really rough game. The year after this one is the 40th anniversary, and there will probably be some big substantial things. Not this year. This year is going to be sort of following up. For Street Fighter 6's year 3, we still got Alex and Ingrid, the second half. This was translated by Nick. Thank you, dude. Along with a bunch of other updates, and we're not going to reduce the pace of our collaborations either. That's an interesting thing to say. And in 2027, it's the 40th anniversary of Street Fighter. We're currently preparing many things for this occasion. Please look forward to them. This isn't interesting to mention. We're not going to reduce the pace of our collaborations. Now, what kind of collaborations are we talking about, dude? And I'll be honest, it feels like Street Fighter has collabed with so much stuff over the past, 2 years that it would make your head spin. From Call of Duty to Borgers to Ninja Turtle costumes to K-pop things to Nikkei. I'm just throwing names out. The only one that actually felt substantial, I think, is pretty obvious. It was the SNK collab. Us actually getting characters from another game in a mainline Street Fighter game was the most significant event that has happened to Street Fighter in its totality in a very long time. That was a big deal. Terry and Mai being legit in Street Fighter was like, damn, this is crazy. Outside of a CVS, this is crazy. I'll be honest, a lot of the other stuff is neat. Costumes are cool. Freakazoid things are cool. Sure. Is it for me? No. McDonald's burgers, cool. The most interesting thing in terms of collaborations where you could actually go with this is with game characters. Actual characters crossing over with other shit. But the problem is that this season didn't lean into that. This season had a very clear sort of mantra to it. Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 4, and weirdo, this season's theme does not include guest characters at all. Any kind of guest characters. So at what point does that seem plausible? Could the next season be it? Is the next season full of a bunch of Third Strike characters? Is it a bunch of brand new characters? We haven't seen any other brand new characters added to the roster since, I think, the initial reveal of the... Damn, is that true? No, Aki was brand new. I think that was the last one, right? With that being said, I don't know if this could mean one thing or the other, but it definitely feels like it just lines up with the fact that Street Fighter stuff shows up in a whole bunch of shit, and a whole bunch of shit shows up in Street Fighter stuff, you know? Depending on how this goes, I will say personally, I don't want some big random thing, man. Remember that crossover video that they did with the Zenless Zone Zero crew? I could see that being successful, but putting a Zenless character into Street Fighter would probably be successful, but that is not what I would want, man. I definitely would prefer crossovers with dream crossovers with other fighting games, other action games, even other Capcom games if they lean into that, which they have done before. They did it in Street Fighter V. More stuff that leans into either Power Stone, Darkstalkers, or Rival Schools. That's the kind of shit that gets me excited. There's a lot of stuff coming for the 40th anniversary. I don't know what the hell they're gonna... Dude, re-release Third Strike. Thankfully, I feel fulfilled with many things to do and many things to think about, so thank you so much to all of our fans and our community and all our players. The game featured some unexpected crossovers last year. We just talked about this. In 2026, year 3 characters, and there's also a new Street Fighter movie, which is probably gonna have some sort of crossover or so, Capcom is hiring for the Street Fighter 6 team, and this is not a remote kind of remedial position, chat. They're hiring for a battle planner, conceptualization of the systems within the game, character planning, character balancing, modes, everything. Like, this is like gameplay design, which is nuts. Here's an interesting observation, chat. My observation is, behind the scenes for another fighting game went through a very similar shakeup in this sort of like job. The direct planner, the people that were sort of focusing on balance and updates and future character planning and systems and shit like that. There was another game where we didn't know that was happening, and then it happened, and it sort of rendered the game asunder. And that was Tekken 8. Tekken 8, new people were put in charge of like battle planning type of stuff. And then by the time that all eventually hit the audience, it did not go particularly well, and they had to revert back for Tekken 8 Season 2. So yeah, like this is an interesting position to be filling right now within the Street Fighter team. But I think they just might need help. They might need more people. I think what they want to do is to match the expectations that the audience has. Even though Capcom's hiring for maybe this position or others, and they're literally mega hiring, as I understand it. Capcom is mega hiring in Japan. Street Fighter could also be a result of that. But at what point do you start seeing things catch up with it? At what point do you see like more costumes or more this or more yada yada yada, more updates, that kind of thing? You don't see that until probably the 40th anniversary, probably until some point 2027. Their work will not be in the game for at least another year at least. But it does lead me to like one more observation. Now that we're here, closing in on the end of the 3rd year of Street Fighter, I have been taught something that changed over the past 4 to 5 years, like post-pandemic, and that is the way audiences engage with games. It's no lack of information.
I don't know how to do this little side beat right here.
As a game is through online play, and that's because their online is genuinely good. Their systems are great, you know, that actually make people connect to each other online. But like the vast majority of people that have ever played Street Fighter 6 are pretty much playing it in an online environment from the comfort of their own home, and like live sort of programming, live tournament programming, and at-home co-op is not really the way that we engage with this game, much less the majority of fighting games anymore. You have to like go out of your way to search that stuff out. That being said, I think that's in direct relation to what's happening with Street Fighter 6 right now and some other games. You have to release updates. For games that are directly online focused, where people are playing it from the comfort of their own home, the only way you can get them to come back and play the game, to engage with it again, is either to release new content or, you know, games as a service give you reasons to come back every 3 to 4 months or something like that to see what happened to your character, what happened to these characters, to get an idea, an inkling of, oh, there's a new patch coming out, like, oh, that whole feeling and moment. That would not necessarily happen as much to older games or games that were primarily played offline. No, that's a modern thing. And that's just because the majority of the audience that's engaging with this stuff now is playing it like it's an online game. You know, it is directly an online game. We're at a spot now where your game needs updates, dude. I used to be in a similar boat when I was a bit more competitive, like a long time ago. Yeah, don't touch the game, bitch. Let us figure it out. Let us dissect this thing. Come on, you know? And that's the way the majority of the community reacted to patches and stuff. That is not the case anymore. Fighting games need updates. Compared to back then, how many online fighting games actually worked? How many fighting games could you actually go and play online that even function online well as a game? Not many. Like, it was a handful of games that actually even didn't make you want to rip your eyes out. You could get an enjoyable online experience out of by just sheer netcode, right? What about nowadays? Nowadays, you have more options, so many options with fighting games nowadays that it can literally make your head spin. You have to get people and give people a reason to play your game. Like, that's just the nature of all online gaming now. And because fighting games are primarily online gaming focused, we are seeing the result of games not go through enough changes, that have not had things fixed fast enough, and the communities are pissed. People are like, I don't want to play this shit anymore. I don't want to do this shit anymore. Like, God damn, I've still been playing the same thing, dealing with the same Oki for like 6 years, brother. Like, we're just in a much different situation than we were with older fighting games, dude. Straight up. I think at the moment, Street Fighter 6 is going through that growth. It's learning that. Yeah, we're seeing games like Marvel Rivals and Fortnite with these giant, massive updates happening constantly. They have rosters of characters in their games that are being played like 100-fold more than your average Street Fighter or any other fighting game, but they're just destroying their rosters, dude. Updating things like crazy, constantly adjusting, constantly balancing, doing this, doing that. And for some reason, like the majority of fighting games that exist now don't actually go through a lot of changes. The biggest thing you see every single year for like the big few fighting games are mostly bug fixes. And it's just like, yeah, solving the little problems. And I'm just going to throw it out there. I personally feel the hope for Street Fighter in the future of where this shit could be going. I hope that they get to a point and they start to realize maybe we can mess around with the balance of the game a little bit more. Maybe we can take a more finger on the pulse, and then you have to dial that in and dial it back. Some people are going to be pissed, and then they're not pissed. You have to find a good cadence of how many patches you can release a year, all that kind of stuff. Nothing is going to make everybody happy. But when you release updates of your game, what happens? When there's content updates, if there's balance updates, what happens? There's an influx of players. I'm the same way. I hear about balance changes for a game that I haven't played in a long time, and I get, ooh, yeah, I want to play that shit. My brain just works that way, dude, for everything. That's one thing that I hope changes. That's one thing that I hope in the future of Street Fighter, that they can sort of look at that cadence and their relationship to their audience and how people are engaging with their game and understand that, like, hey, maybe we could tackle a few of these things a little bit more frequently, you know? Just maybe.
And what's going to happen is the allies are going to try to break out of the Athenian empire. Okay, and they're going to drag Sparta into the war. Sparta does not want to fight Athens. But Athens forces Sparta to fight it because Athens is very expansionist. Okay, so you can see how this red is now encroaching on the Peloponnese, which is historically Spartan territory, right? Now, the problem is that, remember, Sparta has a weakness. The Helots. If the Athenians ever choose to land forces on its coast, the Helots would all rise up together and overwhelm the Spartans. Okay? So Sparta must protect its periphery from Athenian encroachment. So this is what leads to the war. Okay? This doesn't make sense. Okay? Sparta does not want this war. The Athenians are extremely aggressive. They're expanding everywhere. And Sparta is forced into this war. The Allies use this opportunity in order to try to break out of the Athenian empire. And so most of the Peloponnesian War is actually between Athens and its former colonies and allies, okay? Because Athens is a mafia state. Now, what's important for us to understand is that because of the nature of this war, the way they fought the war was strange, okay? So Sparta is not trying to destroy Athens, and Athens is not trying to destroy Sparta. It's really easy for Athens to destroy Sparta, right? All Athens has to do is land forces in Sparta and let the Helots rise up. But Athens doesn't want to do that because it would destroy the equilibrium, okay? You don't know what would happen if the Helots were to take control of Sparta. They might come after you, Athens, okay? So Athens is status quo power, therefore it wants to maintain the equilibrium. Now, let me ask you this question. How could Sparta defeat Athens? Very easily, right? They could just free the Helots, right? Now their army rises 10 times. They can now overwhelm Athens. But Sparta doesn't want to do that because it would destroy their equilibrium. Okay? It would destroy their social order. It would destroy their oligarchy. It would create a democracy, basically. And they don't want that. Okay? So they're trying to fight the war in a way that allows them to maintain the equilibrium. And that's why the war is fought in a very strange way. Okay? They're not trying to destroy each other. They're trying to maintain a balance of power. And what happened is that Sparta will eventually defeat Athens. But it's just not to destroy Athens, because if you destroy Athens, then Thebes and other powers could arise, which could challenge Sparta, okay? All right? All right. So the leader of Athens at this time is Pericles. And Pericles is famous for the funeral oration, which is considered like the most famous speech in Western civilization. And I'm sorry, but in university, they will teach you that the funeral oration is a speech about democracy. It's not a speech about democracy if you actually read it. It's a speech about empire, okay? For whatever reason, the British and Americans believe that Athens was the greatest democracy in the world, and they can do no wrong. No. It's an empire, and it's concerned only with maintaining its empire, okay? So we're going to read from the funeral oration. And the thing to remember about funeral oration is that Athens is not at war. Lots of Athenians are getting killed in this war. And the custom is for there to be a massive state funeral to celebrate the war dead, and to give a speech to commemorate the war dead, okay? So we can't read all the speech, but I want to show you a very important paragraph in the speech. Okay? All right.
The bird's ready to fuck some shit up.
Comfort, therefore, not
Condolence.
is what I have to offer to the parents of the dead who may be here. Numberless are the chances to which, as they know, the life of man is subject. But fortunate indeed are they who draw for their lot of death, so glorious that
Alright, I'm gonna hop off. I think I gotta go make some food. Nah, I don't think. I'm getting a little hungry, so I'm gonna. Now, I will finish this mini comic soon. I gotta get the outline of what I want them to do here. Thinking definitely this move right here. And this is how I want them both. I want them to do 3 poses. This one, this one, this one. Black Hydra failing. He's just gonna be getting stronger. But I'm gonna go make I got some salmon in the fridge that I gotta season. I'm gonna air fry it. And I'm thinking about frying up some Brussels. I'm really frying them. Frying them. But we'll see. Thanks for stopping by. And before I head off, let me see how the Bears are doing. Look at the game. It's about to go into overtime, unless something crazy is about to happen. You see this?
Williams goes end zone. It is caught. Who else? Loveland. Touchdown. This time they'll fake it. Williams looking, throwing, held on to it, caught. Cole Kmet. We're tied in Chicago.
So crazy. So crazy. We were just down 16 and now it's a tied game. I might go watch the game actually. Go do that. I'm out of here. See you guys. Have a good one.